Packaging protects the product from damage, preserves the product, presents the product to the customer attractively, and makes it easier to transport the product. The main packaging materials used are paper, card, metal, plastic, and glass. Paper and card has its advantages: easy to print on, cheap to produce, biodegradable, recyclable, can be moulded, can be coated, and is lightweight. Its disadvantages are that it's not water resistant, it's easily damaged, and it's used for cartons, paper bags, things like juice cartons, and packaging for frozen meals. Plastic. Advantages: it's versatile. Plastics can be flexible or rigid, can be made into shapes, it's resistant to acids and other chemicals, easy to print on, lightweight, and fairly cheap to make. Disadvantages: it causes a litter problem, doesn't biodegrade easily, and it's used for bottles, trays, squeezy bottles, in fact a lot of different packaging, especially outers. Metal is recyclable, lightweight, a good barrier to water and gas, and can be printed on easily. Disadvantages are metals can react with foods. It's used for cans, foil trays, and foil tops. Glass. Advantages: it's reusable, heat resistant, recyclable, keeps its shape, and pretty low cost to produce. Disadvantages: breaks easily, heavy, can be a safety issue. Its uses are jars and bottles and baby foods. Vacuum packing. All the air is removed from inside the pack, leaving the food with no oxygen. Without oxygen, the food keeps fresh for longer, as long as it's unopened. Tamper-proof packaging shows that the pack has not been opened and the contents have not been changed or damaged. Examples are shrink-wrapped jars, so that's when they've got a little bit on the top that you have to pull down to be able to get at it, plastic collars on bottles, and pop-ups on lids and jars, such as jam and pasta sauces. If you can press the top and it makes a lovely clicking sound, which I'm sure drives everyone mad, that means that it's been opened previously, and you know that if that's on the shelf, it's not as safe as it could be. Environmentally friendly packaging causes less damage to the environment. There are three main types: reusable, which can be cleaned and reused, such as glass jars; recyclable, made of materials that can be used again, usually after processing, such as glass, metal, card and paper; and biodegradable. This will break down in the soil or in the atmosphere. Food manufacturers are increasingly using more biodegradable packaging. Recycling is good for the environment. In June 2010, Wales became the first country within the UK to make recycling a legal requirement. Recycling and the composting of waste food is an attempt by some local authorities to become a zero-waste nation by 2050. Homes are being encouraged to sort waste for collection of waste food and recycling of glass, cardboard, paper, cans and plastics. We waste a great deal of food in the UK. Most of it goes to landfill. 1/5 of our carbon emissions are created by the production, processing, transport and storage of food. We waste a great deal of food in the UK each year. Most of it goes to landfill. 1/5 of our carbon emissions are created by the production, processing, transport and storage of food. We need to waste less food to become more environmentally friendly. Many local authorities are collecting waste food and using a biodigester to turn the waste food into electricity and fertiliser. Every year, UK households throw away the equivalent of 3.5 million double-decker buses, almost 30 million tonnes. A queue of these buses would stretch from London to Sydney in Australia and back. The typical contents of a household bin: 35% organic waste, 30% paper, 12% construction materials, 9% plastics, 6% metal, 5% other bits, and 3% of it is glass. Try and learn the percentage here, or just make sure that you are aware of the differences and where we could change things, especially for a long answer question. Manufacturers and consumers are being encouraged to use less packaging. Shoppers should only use what is essential, reuse containers, and recycle as much as possible. We should reduce, buy less packaged food, and avoid foods which are over-packaged. Avoid taking too many plastic bags when packing your food shopping. Buy refillable products such as cleaning liquids whenever possible, and reuse plastic bags and glass jars. Recycle. Many materials such as paper, glass, and plastics can be collected or taken to banks for recycling.